piece on Facebook was, well, it was weird. A doc posts about patients who, at the end of the history, make it a special point to say, "Doc, I don't want you to tell me I need glasses." When I hear that, I just want to beeline to the end of the exam. I don't know about you. If that isn't bad enough, when you say okay, they look puzzled and confused, like you did something wrong complying with their request. Figure your shit out before you waste my time, and don't test me with that kind of nonsense. The cherry on top comes when you take a little jab at them at the end of the exam and say, you don't need glasses, you just need to squinch better. Or, okay, living with crummy vision is a choice, just like any other, but I get it, YOLO. And how about the patients who have a significant RX change? You trial frame them, and they go, wow, everything seems good, and then they ask, but can I just keep my old ones? Remember, glasses are a choice. Nobody dies from wearing glasses, but many innocent people, mostly pedestrians, have died from people not wearing glasses. People had a lot to say about a post with a phone encounter that went like this. Caller, I need to schedule an appointment for an exam, but I have a question first. Is the doctor vaccinated? The staff answered in the affirmative, and the caller said, never mind, I'm looking for a doctor who isn't vaccinated. Surprisingly, based on doctors' comments, this seems to be a thing with more than a few of you. Apparently, there's some type of stupid going around, which is shocking considering the lack of critical thinking that we've witnessed this last year. It's so stupid about vaccine shedding, where people who are vaccinated shed disease to patients from the vaccination. Bad news for that patient, something like 98% of healthcare professionals are vaccinated now. They may be looking for a new doc for a while. But basically saying no to these callers is pre-screening crazy out of your practice, so don't feel bad about it. Frankly, I agree with the docs who said that docs who encounter this type of person likely dodged crazy bullets. I guess the patient didn't want the results of his exam transmitted to the government through the doctor's microchip. I always say, why trust doctors when you can trust the internet? Hey, they read blogs, so they're kind of like a scientist. I'll tell you what, don't get the vaccine, and you too can be a skeleton for Halloween. Now next, a patient comes in for a recheck and says, my vision is blurred when I take my glasses off. Not the first time we've seen this in the group. The doc asks, is the vision as good with the glasses on? And the patient says yes, and well, you know the rest. When I deal with stuff like that, I often look at the clock to remind myself how many hours are left to happy hour. An astute business person, doc, recommends this is a great second pair opportunity. You tell the patient, when you take that pair off, put on this new one immediately, and that problem will be gone. Or you could make a pair that they can't see out of just to see their reaction for shits and giggles. Then there are people who complain their vision is too clear with the new pair. Now it's like asking a GI doc why you keep farting whenever you eat beans. The post reminds me of the patients who blame you for making their eyes worse. They love those patients. Now, this is impressive. This doctor improvised when the slit lamp broke. Awesome. Your new name, Dr. MacGyver. How come we didn't tap MacGyver to get out of COVID? All MacGyver ever needed was a ballpoint pen and a paperclip to get people out of any situation. Now, this is impressive, but you missed a great opportunity to use duct tape. One of the saddest things in life, after all, is missing an opportunity to use duct tape. Next, the doc introduces himself to a new 6-year-old female patient. How are you doing today? He says. She responds, you don't really care about how I'm doing. You don't care anything about me. You just have to say that to be nice. Wow. Sounds like she parroted a fight between her parents where she acted out her mom and you were the dad, Doc. Her parents must have won Parent of the Year more than once. I'd say, right, kid, let's get this exam over with so we can both get on with our lives. But seriously, can you imagine how this kid is at home? Some of you can, I'm sure. I hope not. But I'd recommend sending the next recall communication. Exam due in 11 years. You know, we talk so much about leaving a better planet for our kids that we forget to leave better kids for our planet. Now, this sign was found in Georgia. It says, the Circle of Willis. Docs added, what you talking about? Now, I was surprised because it looks so different than the Circle of Willis was described in our anatomy texts. Whoever named the stuff in that neighborhood was likely a neurologist or someone who understood neurology, because an optometrist would have named it the Circle of Least Confusion. All I know is a traffic jam there must be one hell of a headache. Next, a doc posts that a patient brings in her bearded dragon to an eye exam. Maybe as a support animal, I don't know. No, it wasn't a euphemism, it was an actual reptile. So good thing the doc didn't ask to see their little monster. This brought out all the creepy crawly exam lane encounters, like the doc whose patient had a cockroach crawl out from under their jacket and walk across his t-shirt. Yep, it was his pet cockroach. But I agree with the doc who said that they'd rather see a patient's pet bearded dragon than some of the glued eyelash extensions that we're forced to look at. They're horrible. Then there was a young female doc with the patient annoyed she was introduced to him as Dr. Smith and said that it was more appropriate for the doc to go by Miss Smith because doctor is misleading and Smith sounds like a man's name. Well, sir, you must get surprised on a daily basis having just woken up from the 1920s. By the way, did you hear women can vote now? Then they're the ones who commented, you're not a real doctor. We've all gotten that. Best response is good. I hope you don't have a real problem. Then the corollary to the last post was posted. A doc had a male child who asked the doc who he was, and when he said the doctor, the boy replied, what? I didn't know guys could be doctors. So you learn something every day. By the way, congratulations to freshly minted optometry graduates of 2021. As a gift to you, a doc suggests us older docs post a phrase a new practitioner would have no clue what you're talking about, something they didn't learn in school, such as, has anyone seen the contact lens vial crimper? Now this is great stuff. Okay, newbies, what you gonna do when a patient asks if you sell amethyst contact lenses? How about needing to order more Polaroid film for your non-mydriatic camera? Or having to calculate the axis of rotation for a soft torque contact lens using your Palm Pilot. Never heard of a Palm Pilot? Sorry, you were busy dropping your sippy cup. Then, we used to worry about getting sued for giving patients jelly bumps. Google it. How about replacement lens insurance in case patients tear or lose a contact lens? Or reminding patients to remove their PMMA lenses a day before they have a refraction because... Or warning people about thimerosal sensitivity. But the winner was payment in cash. That's something you're not likely to see or learn about. Now, a doc writes about the patient who claims the only thing that helps her itchy eyes is breast milk, and she wants to know how to prescribe it. One doc recommended waiting until the patient dilates. Another one says, you'd have to be a real boob to prescribe breast milk. But seriously, breast milk is the marijuana of naturopathy. People think it cures everything. Who needs science, right? She could always try urine drops, too. That's another one. One doc said they had a lady tell him she can't take Tylenol because it gives her an orgasm. So the doc asked how many bottles she goes through a week. Good question.